This is Dr. Andy Schumann, and I'm here with another MedGizmo interview. I have the honor and privilege of speaking today with Daya Shankar, who is the co-founder and general manager of Scribe EMR. So unless you've been practicing medicine in a vacuum, you're no doubt aware that scribes have impacted significantly on the quality of life for physicians. So many practices use scribes to facilitate documentation in the medical office. What's technology related and very interesting is the rise of many services like Scribe EMR that facilitate scribe services without scribes physically being in a medical office. So welcome, Daya, and thank you for your help today. So let's start by telling me and our audience a little bit about Scribe EMR. How long has it been around and how successful have you been?
So we have been in the industry from 2016, but prior to scribing, we had a transcription company, which we sold it to a Dragon speech recognition software company that's called Nuance Communication. Now it's a Microsoft. And we currently have, we crossed 600 providers on our service. We work with different kind of specialties such as primary care, cardiology, orthopedic, oncology, you name it, except ophthalmology. So we work with pretty much all specialties, and we now expanded our service doing medical coding, virtual front office, and virtual assistant as well. So it's been going phenomenally well lately because of labor crunch in U.S. market. We are being bombarded with new requests, which is a good problem to have, but we are trying to keep up with the demand.
Yeah, it's a wonderful problem to have from your perspective. From a medical perspective, it's hard to keep staff, and it's really impacted providing medical services. So I'm curious. So you say that at one point you created some software that was eventually acquired by Nuance. Is that right?
Yeah. So we started this company called Focus Informatics in 1999.
Okay.
And we used to do medical transcription. And we started just manual transcription, and then we built our own speech recognition engine, and we automated the process. In 2007, Nuance came and they said, "Hey, we wanted to acquire a company," and they took over our company, and then I think they called it as Nuance Transcription Services now.
So did you, just to clarify again, because I'm intrigued, most physicians are familiar with Dragon Medical One. So
Right.
Are you saying that your company kind of developed it, or did they integrate your software into, an existing package, or used it to improve an existing package? I'm just very curious about that.
Yeah, I mean, Dragon was there. I think they are a spin-off of Dragon Systems.
For decades.
Yeah, from 80s, I believe. So they already had a speech recognition software. So whatever we are developed the medical documentation perspective. Means we fine-tuned our engine and everything else to recognize the dictation from provider and then format it with the HPI ROS PE. So that's what we are done. We did it just to improve our transcriptionist productivity. And to answer your question, I think they ended up integrating that with the Dragon Medical One, and they also have Description, Dragon Bar, and they have many flavors. I mean, I worked with Nuance for 6 years in R&D after they acquired.
I see.
Yeah.
And that's why you're still currently Boston based, and I think Nuance originally is in Lexington. Burlington.
Yeah, even today in Burlington, they're corporate office.
Yeah. And across from Legal Seafood, I know it well. A good place to have lunch. Okay,
That's
so
right.
very good. So let's talk about virtual scribes versus real scribes. What's the advantage? So obviously there must be a person somewhere involved in Scribe EMR. Where in the world are they? They can be on the moon for all we know, or on Mars.
Right. No. So just to give you a kind of what's the difference between virtual and in-person scribe? An in-person scribe is mostly it's a pre-med student following the provider with a laptop,
Mhm.
doing the documentation in the exam room with the patient and family members. And they usually, one of the challenges with that is they work for 8 months during their gap year and they go back to school. Then the new batch comes in and the provider has to train them and what have you. That's one of the challenge. And then of course the cost is high because you end up paying the benefit on top of the hourly price, whatever it is. I think it's some people pay like $28 to $30 now per hour,
Mhm.
which is pretty expensive. And what we do is we kind of said that, you know what, instead of sending a human being, might as well have our scribes, and all of our scribes, most of them, I should say 99% of our scribes are in our office back in India. We have 4 offices
Mhm.
in India: Bangalore, Coimbatore, Chandigarh, and Chennai. So these are
Okay.
the 4 offices. These are the different states. It's like one office in Texas, New York, and Tennessee, and what have you. So
Okay.
they're all there and listening to the conversation through a HIPAA compliant software. We install it on a provider laptop or an iPad. It's a telemedicine app. It has all the encryption and everything. So they're listening. They log into EMR system, just like the in-person scribe would have logged in the exam room. Exactly same thing. And they start typing the note. And the one of the advantage I would say of having remote scribe, not one among many, is that of course there's one less person in the exam room spreading the virus
Okay.
or getting infected, especially in
Unless
COVID.
it's a computer virus,
And you cannot stop it, no matter where you are, right?
right?
And the other thing is our scribes are trained on reminding the provider, right?
Mhm.
The patient comes in, a smoker, and Dr. Schumann is busy like you are now eating during the interview and forgets to do a tobacco counseling. The scribe can
Okay.
send a message on your laptop saying that Dr. Schumann, just so you know, the John who's sitting there with you, he's a chain smoker. Make sure that you do a tobacco counseling, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, that thing cannot happen with in-person scribe. Just imagine your scribe is telling you in front of patient, "Hey doc, can you do tobacco counseling?" A patient will be like, "Whoa, who's the doctor here?"
Right. Well, but okay. So the qualifications of your virtual scribes, which
Yeah.
are living scribes connected via a telehealth application to the doctor during the visit, just to make everything clear.
Mhm.
Their training is high school level, college. Does it vary?
Yeah. So we get 3 sets of candidates. That is, one is someone who already worked as a medical transcriptionist.
Mhm.
Okay. Since we did medical transcriptionist, when Nuance acquired a company, we had, I think, 4,000 transcriptionists on our system or in our company working.
Okay.
Okay. So we hire someone who already worked as transcriptionist. And second one, of course, we hire someone who already worked as a scribe or working as a scribe, want to change their job.
Mhm.
And the third category is that we hire someone who already went to school with some kind of a medical background, like nursing school or dental school or PA school. And there are some who went to a medical school
Really?
and then they had a change of heart when they saw blood and they said, it's just not me. So we
Right.
hire them and we train
Okay.
them.
So very interesting. So just to kind of put things in perspective, there was a time many years ago when doctors would dictate into a dictaphone system or recording system.
Yeah.
These would go to transcription services, right?
Mhm.
And
Right.
then the note would somehow appear in the EHR after it's reviewed by the physician. And this was some time ago. So
Right.
as the technology changed, you've modified your established transcription service into a Scribe service.
Right.
So does one doctor have one Scribe, or can you get anybody at all on the time of day, day of the week, or how does that work?
We purely believe in dedicated scribe, means Dr. Schumann will work with one scribe only.
Okay.
And then if the scribe is off, then we provide a backup scribe.
Right.
So the reason is that we wanted to have that relationship between the provider and scribe to make everybody's life easy. That is, you will know your scribe strengths and weaknesses, and he or she will know how you do your thing.
And our strengths and weaknesses as well. Okay.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
And then we are happy because you both are already buddies doing it, build the relationship, and it's almost like an autopilot.
Okay. So if at either end somebody is displeased, either the scribe with the physician or the physician with the scribe and the quality of the work or whatever, there can be a change.
Of course, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, we try to, it's almost like a matchmaking, right? So we monitor that, and then we sense it that, hey, you know what, this gal or this guy is not working out with Dr. Schumann. I think we have to change it. And then we ask, hey, Dr. Schumann, how are things going?
You as a company pay benefits and physicians end up paying an hourly rate. Is that correct?
Yes. So all of our scribes are our employees. So we take care of their benefit, their salary, their health insurance, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And we invoice the providers, and they pay us. And
in terms of how it works, I would go into an office. I think you use the VC telehealth application. Is that correct?
Yeah, how did you know that, doctor?
Because I spoke to one of your associates.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And he kind of gave me some heads up. So you use VC, which is an excellent telehealth program. The scribe sees what you're doing, hears what you're doing.
No, they
just hear.
Correct.
Okay, but there is a messaging component. So if you forget something, he can kind of nudge you behind the scenes. So he's doing nothing more than listening and typing his note as you go, right?
Correct.
And he has access to your EHR. And then what is the turnaround time? Are we talking minutes, hours, or days before the note is ready to be reviewed?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as they walk out of the exam room, the note is pretty much ready for the provider to review. And then our scribe will queue up all the orders, like radiology orders, referral and lab orders and everything as well.
So really, that's wonderful. So even beyond the note, because they have access to the HR, and there must be some legality in giving them access to do that, or else they, can play doctor. But you have an interaction with them to say, I will plan to order such and such. I will make a referral to such and such, and they take care of clicking those boxes and entering information in those appropriate fields.
Just to clarify, our scribes don't send any orders to pharmacy.
Do not send orders.
They will just tee it up for you.
Okay.
That's all. And
so they don't do the orders, but they pen them or prep them?
They will prep them, yes.
Okay, so that's a good thing.
They just prep it and keep it and say, hey, Dr. Schumann, I prep the RX, prep the lab orders. Can you double check and then send them? Okay. Then you are the one who are checking and then clicking send.
Okay. How does the interaction take place? Is it by email? Is it through a separate app, or through VC or text messaging or whatever?
It's a VC, just like we are having. Just imagine we don't have a video, and you are a doctor, I'm a scribe, and then I'm talking to you like this.
Okay. So it's really voice communication between.
It is.
So the physician will see the scribe, and the scribe will see the physician, but not the patient, or is it voice only?
Voice only, unless, there are some doctors who ask the scribe that, hey, can you share your video? And then they will introduce the scribe to their patient, and then have a video conference like we do. But I would say 98% of the time, it's just only audio. That's it. No video.
Yeah. Okay. So there would be an ongoing open channel between the doctor and the scribe as he moves from room to room.
There you go. You got it. So they log in the morning before half an hour before the first patient arrives, and they're going to remain connected until the provider goes home.
Okay, so pretty much you have a regular work day. The notes at the end of the day are all done. And do you keep track of productivity, before and after, your service to inform physicians how much more money they're making, how many more patients they're seeing as a consequence of enrolling in Scribe EMR?
Yeah. So we keep track of that, and we present that once a month as an ROI. That is what we have seen so far is that the pre and post Scribe EMR, the provider end up seeing additional 2.5, in some cases 3 patients per day.
Mhm.
And then we tell them that if they can see 1 additional patient per day on top of their current schedule, then this program becomes cost neutral. If they see anything more than that, it's a cost positive on their balance sheet.
Okay. Is
And
that dependent on the specialty? Because I've read papers indicating EDs and very lucrative specialties like cardiology. You can spend $100,000 yet realize $1 million+ from using scribes. But that's true of all specialties. Do you think?
Yeah, so that's an average patient increase post scribing. But some of the specialties such as orthopedic, some people are seeing 70 patients already.
Mhm.
And in those cases, we try to measure their pajama time, that how often did you take the work to your house? How often did you log into EMR during weekend and midnight? So
Mhm.
that's another driver of ROI, that, the provider burnout rate, right?
Mhm.
And then we keep that track, and then we show it to them once
Right.
a month, and quantify our service.
Okay. And I was told your service can be as low as I think it's $13.50 per hour. Is that right?
Mhm. Right.
Is that, where does that stand compared to your competitors? Are you at
I'm not
liberty for
sure.
doing it? Yeah.
Yeah, what I know, I don't know how much exactly they charge, but from talking to other customers, and they told us that we are the most economical option, so that's why they came with us.
Mhm.
But in-person scribe, I know they charge anywhere from $25 to $30 per hour.
Mhm. And there are benefits on top of that.
On
Is that
top of it,
correct?
it's like
Okay.
about 12-13%, I think.
Okay. All right. So Scribe EMR has been around for how many years again?
2016 we started.
16. So we're talking 6 years, and now you've got well over 600, and you'd like it to be 6,000 or 60,000.
Sure.
Are scribes unique to the United States, or is it all over the world?
You mean
Scribe
scribe process?
services or Scribe EMR, are most of your customers US based?
That's it.
That's
Only
it.
US. That's it.
Okay. And why is that? Is there no need for scribes, or is it just the national health doesn't make it economical for anyone to use scribes elsewhere in the world?
I believe the intensity of document need in US is far greater than any other country.
Mhm.
In other words, let's say you go to NHS UK or any Europe countries, the documentation is not that as what can I say, as detailed, as stringent as our insurance company looks for in US. So they
Mhm.
can manage by themselves. Um,
Okay.
although when I was in Nuance, there are some UK customers using transcription service, but we never had any inquiries or
Right.
traction.
And speaking of nuance and voice recognition and dictation, do the scribes just type, or do they dictate, or both?
They just type.
They just type. Okay. And we know that typing is 1/3 as fast as voice recognition, but they use templates, so that would speed things along. Okay.
Correct.
And you're compatible with all major EHRs because you have access? Is there any technicality involved with giving you access to the EHR documents that have to be signed and so forth?
Yeah, in terms of compatibility, we can work with any EMR because for us is we are EMR agnostic.
Mhm.
All we need is to give us the login, and then we just, if you can log
Yeah.
in from Starbucks, then we can log in from from wherever we
Oh,
are.
okay.
And
Yeah. Has that been a problematic in any institutions? Uh,
no, uh, so far we haven't had any issues as such. Although they ask you that, hey, how good is your security? And then we, since we are a HIPAA approved company by PricewaterhouseCoopers, so we
okay.
give them the certificate and all the audit result, and they usually don't ask any more questions.
Right. And I'm curious how it works because do you log in? Does a scribe log in and be given by way of the IT department the ability to scribe for a physician? You probably don't log in under the physician, do you?
No, absolutely not. That's a big
Yeah.
no-no. We
Yeah.
want them to give a unique login for that scribe.
Okay.
And we do not share. I mean, if the provider, if you come and said, hey, Daya, have your
Right.
scribe login,
So that's
no.
important because you're HIPAA compliant. You don't want to have the scribes inadvertently clicking a button and access, HIPAA compliant information. So I was very curious how that works. Okay.
Yeah.
So are you able, I don't know how many competitors there are, but if you do a Google search, things like Deep Scribe come up, Augmetics, which at one point was using Google Glass. There's a lot of competition out there. And your advantage is that you are priced very competitively. You've got one scribe for doctor, as long as that works out,
Mhm.
and you can get the note completed by the end of the workday and avoid what's commonly known as pajama time, which is a phenomenon that was described very well in I'm trying to think where it appeared. It was an article that really talked about how cumbersome EHRs are for physicians, with a lot
Mhm.
of physicians needing to go home and spending some hours finishing notes before they went to sleep, AKA pajama time.
That's right.
So very, very cool. Anything else you'd like to say comparing yours to others, perhaps?
Not really. I mean, as you said, Dr. Shimon, our price and the way we do it, and then we just got awarded by Class that we are #1 scribing company. So
Oh,
that's
so
another.
congratulations. That's a
Thank you.
major achievement.
It
So
is.
good for
Yeah.
you. That,
Mhm.
that's terrific. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they spoke to some of our customer and heard from them, and that's how we got.
Yeah, and it's very, very competitive, and it's no small achievement. So congratulations to you and what you've achieved over time. So I'm going to conclude this interview just again thanking you for participating.